14th, 2013, City of Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Item 4, approval of the minutes of October 24th.
I'd like to make a motion that we defer action on the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item 5A, we have a contract with Goff for the construction of the City of Hammond Purdue Athletic Complex at Dowling Park. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item B, we have the extension of our paving contract with Walsh and Kelly.
Now, Walsh and Kelly is willing to hold their price to the original contract that was approved last year, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve the extension of their contract. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item C, we have correspondence from NIPSCO with a digging request. Have you seen this, Mr. DeStatney?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve NIPSCO's digging request. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item D, we have several junk vehicles submitted by the police department with a request to dispose of them. Is there a motion to approve the request?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item E. We have a hearing for Mr. Newsom from Royce Auto Sales, who is appealing the decision of the City of Hammond to deny his business license. Mr. Newsom. Why don't we just...
Letter requesting a rehearing or what?
Appears Mr. Newsom applied for a business license to sell vehicles in the City of Hammond. Mr. Newsom's business license was denied when his background check revealed a robbery and drug conviction out of Illinois. Mr. Newsom wrote to the board and appealed his decision and requested a hearing to appeal the board's decision and submitted an address of 8059 South Dobson in Chicago. We wrote to Mr. Newsom and told him his hearing was scheduled today and sent the correspondence to 8059 South Dobson, and that correspondence was subsequently returned as attempted and not known.
So we're not going to take any action?
It's up to you guys. Do you want to not take any action, or do you want to...
Well, we already denied it.
Well, he asked for an appeal. We have a duty to grant an appeal hearing. So we can either make the decision to hold the hearing in his absence, being that he submitted an address which is apparently not valid, or...
The gentleman there in the red jacket on the left side that walked in.
Are you Mr. Newsom?
No, sir.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board? We can either attempt to recontact Mr. Newsom, or being that he's failed to provide the board with an appropriate address in which to contact him, we can hold the hearing in his absence.
I say let's hold the hearing.
He won't be able to present any evidence, and we're probably not prepared to hold a hearing. Maybe we should just make one more attempt to contact him, and if we can't
We don't even have the right address to contact them. Did it say there's no such address? Is that what it said, Bob?
It says, attempted not known, unable to forward.
So how did he request a rehearing? Is there an address on that letter?
There is Mr. DeStatney. He writes, I would like to request an appeal hearing date to appeal the decision to deny my new dealer's license located at my office at 252 Wildwood, Suite 5026. Respectfully, Leroy Newsom, 8059 South Dobson, Chicago, Illinois.
Where did we send it, to the Hammond address or the Chicago address?
Chicago address.
We sent it to the Chicago address. Did we copy him at his Hammond address? The secretary informs me that we also copied Mr. Newsom at his Hammond address.
Well, if he responded, he must have got it, right? If he's requesting a rehearing,
He's not requesting a rehearing. He's requesting a hearing.
appeal hearing.
He's requesting a hearing to appeal the board's decision to deny him a business license. We noticed him that hearing was going to occur this morning at 9 a.m.
Oh, we did? Okay.
That's right here.
We noticed him two ways at both addresses he provided. One address was returned as undeliverable, which was the address he provided as his home address. So, what would the board like to do?
I don't see how we could hold a hearing.
If he's not here.
Yeah.
So,
We can just re-deny it based on that he hasn't made an appearance
Then we would be holding a hearing.
and presented
Mr.
any evidence.
Then we would be holding a hearing.
Well, we could just do that. I don't know what to do with it.
Then is there a motion from the board to deny the appeal of Mr. Newsom?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item F, we have a hearing on several properties.
My client Tom Culver owns these. I've started the work to investigate what's going on. I haven't finished. I would appreciate an additional extension of time. I know I'm going to be here January 9th with a number of them. If we could continue these to that date.
Is there a motion to reset these properties for January 9th?
so moved.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Matthews. Item G, 627 Kane Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here for Mr. Funk. He's unable to be here this morning. He's indicated he has taken on a trial next week that cannot be moved and is thus preparing. He says that he's been in touch with Mr. Callahan and is trying to resolve this matter, but because of him not being able to be here, he's requesting a continuance maybe to that January 9th date, if that is okay with you guys.
Yeah, I have correspondence from Attorney Funk. Is there a motion to reset this for January 9th?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's the requested item H.
Item H. We have a request from Efron and Efron that this be reset for December 5th, pending an agreement with our building department. Is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item I, 584 Sibley.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Victor Brown, 584 Sibley, Hammond, Indiana, 60475.
Is Michelle Brown your wife?
Yes,
604, what was your zip code?
6047, 46320.
This was actually affirmed back in July by the board to be converted back to a two-unit.
Yeah, why is this on the agenda for today? How did this get set for today? Any idea how this
I
got
was-
on the agenda for today?
Curious myself, I don't know. I expected, I thought maybe they got a lawyer.
Did you receive a notice to be here today, sir?
No, this was told to me at the last hearing, this date.
What's the status of the property at this point?
And basically, I don't have any type of written complaint that I would need. If possible, may I have some copy of the complaint, and at the same time, I was told that I would be, it would be investigated and explained to me why a building that was sold to me as a 4 should be a 2 instead of a 4. And that all of that would be explained to me the next hearing.
This was uncovered to us during the fire, after the fire, which, upon inspection, we discovered that some remodeling and such was going on. The second floor apartment, we basically stood down the middle, so we had no fire separation. The second floor apartments being, or first floor apartments being remodeled, I believe by Mr. Brown, no permits.
Mr. Brown, it appears your unit has been labeled uninhabitable because of several violations that have occurred there. Is that correct?
There was only one incident that occurred at that building, and I've had the place for almost 11 years, and it was only one incident. And as far as the separation, I was told, I spoke personally with the fire chief, who told me it was a superb separation because it did keep the fire contained to that unit and that unit only. So it was a tested separation.
Sounds like you.
I've never spoke to him before. You had to talk to one of my inspectors.
Well, it could have possibly been the inspector. I apologize.
When was the fire?
This was last year.
So we're looking at pictures right now of some apparent violations. Things like, are you able to see this?
No, sir.
Can you come forward, please?
Yes, sir.
Is this your unit? One of your units in your building? Some live electric in the shower. Yes. There's live electric in your shower. That appears to be one of the violations that the building department found when they went into your unit. So okay. Being that it doesn't appear that you're familiar with the conditions in your unit, what I'm going to ask is that the building department come in and re-inspect your unit, and let you know all the violations that are there if they have not done so already. At that point, we'd like you to come back to the board and report to the board on the status of where you're at in rectifying those violations to create a safe living environment for your tenants. Okay? Obviously, live electric in a shower is not a safe environment, which is probably why the building department marked this as uninhabitable. Okay? How about if we set this for 30 days and building department can come back with a status on this property?
Mr. Levy, I suggest that Mr. Brown, Mrs. Brown, who's actually listed as the owner, he's not actually on any other paperwork.
You guys are married, right?
You're sitting there, I didn't notice, but it's been since Michelle Brown, they were here, I met at the department, same situation at the time. So we don't have to revisit this again. Mrs. Brown will be here, we can both be here sometime.
Are you guys at 10355 South Indiana? Yes. Okay, and you and Mrs. Brown are in contact on, as far as the status of your property here?
Yes, I don't think I have a copy, but if it's okay, we may have a copy before I leave.
I think what Mr. Kearney just said is that this copy of this notice got sent to Mrs. Brown at 10355 South Indiana, but of course we can make a copy for you. Okay. Mr. Brown, thank you. Do you have a date, 30 days?
December 12th?
December 12th. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You too. Item J, 6652 Howard.
This can be dismissed. It's been converted to a single-family home. The work's been done.
Is there a motion to dismiss action at 6652 Howard? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item K, 43 Warren.
This can be dismissed as well. Property's been converted from a 3 to a single-family home.
Is there a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item L, 4604 Johnson.
This can be dismissed as well. This has already been affirmed.
A motion that we dismiss.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 5724 Calumet.
I believe this gentleman had an attorney. Was there any correspondence from Mr. Molina?
He was notice of the hearing? Is he here? What's inspection's recommendation?
What's the hearing about?
We're asking this 2-unit to be converted to a single-family home. No permits to convert. No fire separation. 2-story, 1900.
Was this property before us previously?
It was,
And then did we set it for status?
right, it was set on September, original hearing was September 19th, set for today. For status. It has not been affirmed.
So what's the status of it today?
It's the same.
You haven't been back in? You haven't had contact with the owner?
Nor his attorney.
Being that no one appeared, we should confirm the order.
Well, they did appear. We had a hearing, and then we set it over for 30 days, and I'm asking the building department, why did we set it over for 30 days? What was the status for? Was it to go get a building inspection? Was it so that,
His attorney requested a continuance to November 14th. To look into the matter, he has not contacted us at all regarding this process. Not to my knowledge.
Who's the attorney, Mr. President?
what does the board want to do on this?
We have a hearing scheduled, nobody showed up, nobody contacted us. We should confirm the order. I'm gonna make a motion that we confirm the findings in the order.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item N, 6033 Erie.
When we inspected this property on July 23rd, the second floor was being used as habitable space, office area / bedrooms. At this time, we're not requesting that they remove those rooms. So we're going to give them a letter basically saying that they're occupying those uninhabitable rooms at their own risk.
Okay, basically, we're not living in upstairs. My sister, she bought the house like that. She never get a permit for plumbing and electric because basically she bought it like that. And the only she fixed in the house is the roof. And we got a permit from the city of Hammond. That's all. So basically, we're not living
There's
upstairs.
no action that is required of the board?
Not at this time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Item O, 4410 toll.
What do we need to do?
We are asking for the removal of the second floor apartment. The owner is complying, has came in already to start pulling the permit, so I would just ask that the board affirm the findings and orders.
Motion affirmed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item P, 3844 Torrance. Mr. Farrell, can you re-prepare these documents? Item P, 3844 Torrance.
I'll ask for a 30-day continuance, please.
December 12th?
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item Q, 721 173rd.
We're asking for the removal of the basement apartment, ceiling height 6'6", definitely no fire separation, no permits to convert.
6'6". Another one of those we only rent to short people. Does anybody appear at 721 173rd Street? Mr. Gonzalez, Juan Gonzalez.
Make a motion that we affirm the findings. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item R, we have a rental registration hearing at 3320 175th. Mr. Hanson,
Yes.
you were here last week and you got sent to the wrong courtroom, is that correct?
I was standing in line waiting and
Mr. Hanson was here last week. He was standing in line at the opposite end of the hall, and by the time he got directed to the appropriate place, we had already convened our meeting and ruled on his case. Is there a motion to reopen the rental registration hearing for 3320 175th Street and reconsider it?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Hanson, now is your opportunity to explain to the board why you failed to register your unit on 175th Street.
I didn't know nothing about it. My dad got sick. We were gonna put the house up for sale. I moved in with my dad. The neighbors came up to me, asked me if they could rent my house because their house had mold in it. I didn't know none of the rules, nothing like that. I said, okay, fine. So I got a rental agreement from Office Max, and I had no idea of rules on, I had to register it or nothing like that. I thought I was doing something.
renting it?
A year and a half. I was gonna put it up for sale, and then they came up to me and said, we got mold. She was sick from the mold, and they came and looked at the house, and I repainted the whole house inside, and they took, and they also tried to assume my mortgage. I have paperwork saying that they were denied for assuming of the mortgage also.
Motion.
We waived late fee, but you must got to register the unit for 2013.
I have the paperwork here, the registration
Second.
paperwork.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You'll have 30 days to register your unit at the regular rate of $80.
Okay,
If you fail to register it in 30 days, our motion or our order will be vacated and the $500 late fee will be assessed.
okay,
You'll be able to register your unit when you get a copy of our order. You can either wait around
I'll wait.
until the meeting's over and get a copy from the secretary, or we'll send one to you in the mail.
I'll wait.
All right.
It's a
Thank you.
yearly rental.
That's fine. Okay.
Item S, we have correspondence from Mr. Aguarta regarding his rental registration hearing next week, requesting that it be rescheduled. There's no date that they're requesting. Do you have a date about a month out? It's next week. Yeah, they're requesting it early.
So they want,
December 19th? Want to do that?
Are we here?
Yeah, we should be here on the 19th.
Is there a motion to reset this for December 19th?
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item T, we have requests for several rental registration hearings.
What do you want to set?
3 weeks,
19?
same date?
Yeah.
December 19th. All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item U, we have a request from the Downtown Hammond Council requesting some street closures. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item V, we have correspondence from a student at Columbia College requesting permission to film at City Hall.
Yeah, he's already discussed it with Mike Baines, and Mike's going to work with him. So I'll make a motion that we approve the filming.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item W, we have one garage sale permit for approval.
Make a motion, we approve it.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item 6, is there matters from any board members?
Yes, we have a bid opening date we're going to set for 3rd District street lighting. Maywood Avenue from April to May. I'd like to set the bid opening for December 12th with advertising dates of November 21st and 28th.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any other matters from board members? Is there any new or old business? Mr. Cook.
We have a demolition in process, the old Hewin tap, where Hewin and I think it's Toll. The foundation, city ordinances require all the foundation to be taken out. The foundation on this one is actually underneath an old city sidewalk with the new city sidewalks poured on top of them. So if I tear that foundation out, we're gonna lose several hundred feet of sidewalk. So I just wanted to have the board's approval to circumvent city ordinances and allow the foundation on one side.
Because the situation creates more damage than it's worth. So we're only going to leave that one wall in, right?
Right.
Is there a motion to affirm the variance for the demolition procedures at Hugh and Tapp to allow for one foundation wall to remain?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
If it may please the board, if we could revisit item P, in noticing my error in item O's paperwork, I apologize to the board for that discrepancy. I have verified that items P's paperwork is in order and ready to be submitted. If we can set aside the continuance, the homeowner is cooperating with the removal, has pulled permits. I would just add, it is 3844 Torrance, and we're asking for to affirm the removal of the cellar apartment. And this paperwork is in line, President Lundy.
So I'll make a motion that we affirm the paperwork. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Public expression. The meeting is now open to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address the board, now is your opportunity to do so.
Hi, my name's Kurt. I'm the superintendent for the new Family Dollar, Calumet Street, 6620, the old Kenny Mays. We have to do a water tap, and it's on the back side of the alley. And I would like to possibly get a permit to saw out the alley, run our water tap permit, and then asphalt it back in. The alleyway would probably be gravelled in for a week to 10 days.
And closed.
When are you going to do the work?
Weather permitting, sometime next week. We don't need,
Yeah, you're going to have to close the alley for one day.
it wouldn't even be a full day, but yeah. And then after we get the water tap permit in, we would gravel it in until I start asphalting the parking lot.
We give you permission to close the alley, but then any permits required for water tap and all that needs to be worked out with the gentleman right behind you.
Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the closure of the alley. You need to give us a call probably 24 hours before you close it so we could have police and fire know that the alley's actually going to be closed.
To the building inspector, or who am I going to?
Actually to the police radio room. Do you have that number handy?
853-6490.
Yeah, so that they know that you got approval. You just tell them you got approval from the Board of Works and that you're going to close the alley tomorrow morning.
And also, when you get finished, can you call dispatch back to let them know you're finished, so we can radio the guys to let them know that the alley's back open?
Okay.
A little clarification, after you tear up the alley and you put the gravel in, we do cold patch it until next spring. You just don't leave the gravel in the alley.
Great, I would actually patch it back in when I do my parking lot, when I asphalt the parking lot.
Right, in the meantime, the alley is cold patched in. It's not just left gravel.
Okay.
So
It's gotta be cold patched.
tamp
You
it
gonna pave the
down.
alley this year? I mean, pave the parking lot this year?
Right, hopefully within the next week and a half,
Are the asphalt plants still open?
till Thanksgiving.
Doing my
Still think,
today.
okay, we're running out of time.
Well, he said something about doing it in March, that's why. You don't want to wait till March.
No, we're doing a week and, hopefully in a week and a half. I'm working on another process of actually trying to bore underneath it and not have to dig it up. I would rather do it that way, but I'm just trying to cover all my bases right now.
Is there a motion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody else for public expression? Board would like to recognize Councilwoman at Large Janet Finez. Thank you very much again for attending our meetings, Councilwoman. Is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor?